Happy 2026, everybody. New year, and this is going to start off a new video. In fact, actually, this is a recording attempt number 2 because you are not going to believe what happened. See, I was about to upload a video on the Volkswagen ID.Buzz, and as I had finished uploading, getting all of the YouTube elements added, and then just getting ready to publish, just as I was about to hit the publish button, did I finally see some updated news about said ID.Buzz from Volkswagen, rendering my entire video completely useless and resulting me having to scrap the entire thing. Thanks, Volkswagen! But nonetheless, we have some ID.Buzz stuff to talk about, and thankfully, unlike what I thought in the last video, it was canceled and never coming back to the US, it's not canceled entirely, and we can be a little positive about this. So, okay, let's cue the intro and discuss a bit more about the ID.Buzz. So, the Volkswagen ID.Buzz, it's electric minivan, if you guys haven't heard of it just yet, though honestly you probably should have because Volkswagen's been teasing this for years, and unfortunately it hasn't been selling well, despite that a lot of people really liked it. Even the fact that it was electric, a lot of people liked the design, plus the retro aesthetic thing, just bringing back an old design that, well, people kind of missed, and people kind of missed the era of the Volkswagen buses and that type of thing, and Volkswagen brought it back in the form of electric. And I can understand, yeah, the nostalgia is what's hitting a lot of people when it comes to the ID.Buzz and that type of stuff. For me, nostalgia has nothing to do with it because I was not born in the era of the buses and such, although I have seen a few old ones that have still survived. I still see a couple of them driving even around this era, believe it or not, so I know what they're like. I haven't been in one, but I've seen them around here before. I know what they're like. Nostalgia is not the reason why I'm a big fan of the ID.Buzz. My biggest reason why I'm a big fan of it is just the fact that it's a fully electric minivan. You know, the actual vehicle you're supposed to get if you're looking for an actual proper practical vehicle that has 3 rows of seating and can actually store all of your stuff. Yeah, that's why I like it. It's actually a proper electric minivan with proper sliding doors so that way your kids don't constantly door ding everybody else's car next to you. That was my personal biggest reason why I love the ID.Buzz. But I mean, even though, okay, electric minivan aside, the thing's really cute and adorable, and not only that, it's colorful, it's playful, it's just the vibes of this van are all positive, which is a big pro, especially here in the US of A, where minivans are, well, except for the Honda Odyssey in my personal opinion, most minivans here in the US are not really all that exciting. They're basically just boring boxes on wheels, which, I mean, on one hand, there's a reason why they're pretty much boring boxes on wheels, and that's in part what makes them the single most practical vehicles here on the planet. But Volkswagen decided, you know, we're not going to conform to just being a boring box. We're going to bring back some heritage. We're going to bring back some nostalgia. And they made this really cute, fun, pleasant to be around aesthetic minivan. It's all good vibes here. It's just, there's a bit of a problem aside from the fact that, oh, because it's a minivan, oh, Americans, no, minivans aren't cool. They've got this soccer mom baggage attached to them. Well, guys, hate to tell you this, but I think 3-row crossovers, in fact, I think crossovers period already have the soccer mom stigma attached to them. So does it really matter at this point anymore? But yeah, basically what I'm saying is due to some factors such as that, but then also a couple other factors that we'll get into in just a little bit, the ID.Buzz has not sold particularly well. And there's a couple of reasons why I can think. First off, reason number 1, they just waited way too long. They've been hyping this van up for so many years, and Europe actually got it 2 years before the US. Granted, it was in a different wheelbase. Europe got a standard wheelbase that we don't have available here in the US. We only get the long wheelbase variant, and apparently that somehow took 2 more years to produce ahead of the standard wheelbase. But yeah, they just took way too long. They kept hyping it up, and people started losing faith in it actually coming out, and because of that, they lost interest, and well, yeah, that's a bit of a problem. But then there's 2 other key problems that I hope they actually address when they bring the Buzz back. See, this is why I had to cancel the whole video. It's because I did not know at the time that Volkswagen was only canceling canceling it for model year 2026. Apparently, they have plans to bring it back for 2027, and that was news that I missed, and because of that, I had to scrap in an entire video over it. So, I want to actually bring up a few things that I hope Volkswagen considers during this year of the factory being shut down, because if the factory's not going to do anything, you might as well retool it and fix a couple things with the ID.Buzz, because while it is a very aesthetically pleasing vehicle to look at, and pretty practical too, there's a couple changes that I think need to be made in order for this van to actually sell better than it currently is. And let's dive into that. Problem number one, the charge port. All 2025 Volkswagen ID.Buzzes happen to be using this awful piece of trash of a charge port. We're kind of moving on from this, so that way we can, I don't know, use a better, more superior charging standard. So for 2027 Volkswagen, if you could get rid of this trashy design in favor of this. And also, while you're at it, maybe a little faster charging than 190 kilowatts. That seems to be about where it peaks for charging speeds. By today's standards, when we have so much of its competition doing well over 200 kilowatts, Ioniq 9 peaks at roughly like 220, somewhere around there, 220, 240. Tesla Model X, if you can call it competition, peaks at 250. The Lucid Gravity just came out. That thing peaks at 400. You've got a few other three-row crossovers out there in the luxury space that also charge faster than the ID.Buzz. And so, yeah, maybe faster charging would help too. And speaking of electrical components, because I think now this is where we're probably going to get into its biggest problem. The battery pack's capacity compared to the price. We seem to have a problem where the battery pack size is your standard MEB platform battery, and as a result, its capacity is a bit on the weak side for the particular size of vehicle Volkswagen is putting it into. Now, it is a little bit larger, if I recall, than the battery pack than they use for the ID.4, but it's not that much larger, and I think the majority of the internet agrees that the battery in the ID.Buzz is just a bit too small as is, and so we'd probably appreciate a little more capacity, and if that's the case, hopefully a little more charging speed out of it as well. And then there's the price tag. It's at $70,000, and on one hand, okay, this is Volkswagen's Halo product at the moment, and Halo products are allowed to be expensive, but a $70,000 minivan, when a big reason why people love minivans, especially like myself, is because of the value proposition, there's a bit of a problem here. Pretty much, if Volkswagen wants to maintain its $70,000 price tag, which is going to be hard with, I don't know if it's a certain industry going a bit haywire that's going to affect literally everything, even outside of EVs and cars in general. Okay, if you're not aware, just go to the Gadgets channel and you can figure this out. I'm not going to talk about it more here, guys. That's too depressing. If Volkswagen wants to keep the price tag at around $70,000, then we need a larger battery. That's the biggest thing that I can really think of. It's just get rid of CCS, because we're done with that. We're legit sick and tired of CCS at this point. We want NACS, and yeah, just a larger battery. That's legitimately all I can think of that the ID.Buzz needs, because other than that, I mean, it's a minivan. It's literally the perfect practical box on wheels that everyone that wants a proper three-row vehicle to do practical family hauling and road tripping and that type of stuff. I think that's all we can really ask for. It's just bigger battery so we can road trip this thing easier. I mean, based off of what happened on the eastern edge, ooh, yeah, I think its lack of battery capacity really hurt it there. So that's all I can ask for. And thanks, Volkswagen, even though you've forced me to have to completely scrap a whole video I made. Thank you for at least making the decision to not fully cancel this outright. The reason why they've taken a year off on sales, by the way, is just because apparently this thing is not sold well at all, and they're pretty much sitting on dealer lots, so they're taking some time off to allow dealers to actually clear their inventory and make room for more when Volkswagen decides to ramp up production again towards the end of the year, which I hope they hold to that. I mean, Volkswagen North America says that apparently, this is their words, not mine, the ID.Buzz is a bit too important to cancel because of heritage, and it's being a Halo product. So if it's that important, then I really do hope we'd actually see it at the beginning of next year, because we all know that right now, due to political BS, so apparently EVs are not in the government's favor at the moment, even though honestly it really shouldn't matter. I just hope that anything else that happens due to political BS doesn't make Volkswagen decide, you know what, let's just cancel the whole thing outright. I really hope we do see its return in 2027. And so at this point, I'm just rambling. Thank you for watching. Do me a favor and interact with the stuff below. Also, do me a favor and check out my Patreon page. I would very much appreciate that. This is the Random Alpha Drive, signing out.